The Rambling Geordie.
I see David Lammy's in trouble again, or the male version of Diane Abbott, as I like to call him. He was asked on the Nick Ferrari show on LBC the other day, would you take a knee for Henry Novak? And, I mean, I knew his answer before he said it, but he said, I think no, because look, I don't think that the family are asking for symbolism. They're asking for genuine common sense policing, and for them, they want to see a reduction in knife crime. Yeah, of course. They're not looking for symbolism. I don't think anyone's actually looking for symbolism here, David. I think the whole point of the question was to ask you whether or not you would show the same care for Henry as for what you did for fucking George Floyd. Obviously not, eh? I mean, he emphasised, practical action over gestures, which sounds good, doesn't it? It sounds really fucking good. But what actions is he going to be taking? Fuck all, as far as I can see. And, he also goes on to mention how Novak's family have publicly called for calm, which, once you get the nudge teams out, of course they're going to do that, aren't they? He wants to focus on knife crime and equality under the law rather than protests or symbolism. Well, it's funny that, isn't it, really? Because if you think what he did with George Floyd and the rest of the Labour Party leadership did with George Floyd, we've all seen the pictures of Lammy and of Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner on their knees for a fentanyl-addicted felon who died from an overdose. I'm not saying the way the police went on with him was great, but even the coroner himself said that that's not what killed him. So, anyway. I mean, he enthusiastically supported the knee-taking gesture. He saw it as a symbol of solidarity with Black Lives Matter. He took the knee himself and even defended the England players doing it during the Euros, which I think the fans let everyone know that they weren't pleased about it. Criticises anyone who opposed it or anyone who called it gesture politics as people lacking empathy or just being on the wrong side of anti-racism. But then he goes on to say that to do it for Henry Novak would be just symbolism. Now, he's right. It would be symbolism. And I wouldn't take a knee for Henry Novak, but I wouldn't take a knee for fucking George Floyd either. And if I was going to pick between the two which one I would do it for, well, it would definitely be for Henry Novak. What Henry Novak needed, was not to be treated like the criminal from the onset. What he needed was not to be treated like the one who, the antagonist. I mean, if you haven't heard it already, go and listen to the 999 call. They make it abundantly clear to who they're talking to on the other end of the phone that this guy is a racist. This white guy racially attacked me. You need to know this. They even asked, is there any weapons involved? Oh, no weapons. Yeah. Anyway, so what happens is the police turn up. This guy's been racially abusing us. Oh, well, that's enough for me. Let's get him in handcuffs. It was fucking disgusting the way they went on with that guy. And for anyone out there telling me that there's no two-tier policing in this country, you're fucking wrong, I'm sorry. Absolutely fucking wrong. And actually, David Lammy agrees with that. If you read his article in I think it was The Independent today, when he states that you can't treat all ethnicities the same when policing. Yeah, I don't think there's that many people out there heard about that one at the minute. Some ethnicities need to be treated differently. Now, what does that tell you? That tells me that there blatantly is two-tier policing. I mean, the guy's a hypocrite. We all know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know here. But I'm going to give you some reasons why he's a hypocrite. I mean, the guy, he selects his outrage and his solidarity purely based on the race of the person who was being murdered, killed, whatever it is. George Floyd, like I've said, he took the knee for the guy, defended taking the knee. He thought everyone should take the knee for George Floyd. I mean, George Floyd was a black American. He fit the global narrative of systemic racism and police brutality. That Lammy strongly champions that. Henry Novak, on the other hand, was a white British teenager killed in a random stabbing by a British Sikh man who falsely claimed racial abuse. Now that we know that Novak didn't racially abuse the guy. He might have been a bit of a pain in the arse to him or whatever, but does that mean he's got to get stabbed by the guy? Absolutely not. Like I said, George Floyd was a fent head. He once held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach while he was robbing her. He's been in all sorts of trouble. He's just, he was a fucking... No one's going to miss the guy. Yet he was the ideal jumping on point for Black Lives Matter and for everyone's a Nazi but me, these sort of people. Yet when a white British lad gets killed, well, it's not that big a deal really, is it, Anyway. In 2020 when this happened with Floyd, symbolism was the order of the day. It was everything. You had the BLM you take the knee, the raised fist in the air. It was fucking symbolism. I mean, Lammy even admits that it was. He said it was because it was during the pandemic that, times were different back then. We were in the middle of a pandemic. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Nick Ferrari actually called him out on it and said, look, I'm glad you say it was mere symbolism. It wasn't, it was a bit of a charade at times, he said. And Lammy didn't have a fucking leg to stand on. Probably because he was down on one fucking knee, but anyway. I mean, another reason he's one of the biggest hypocrites going, he's repeatedly urged people not to exploit Novak's death and to respect the family's call for calm. During the George Floyd riots, did he do that? Did he? Fuck. He didn't apply the same restraint to what he did he has with Novak. He didn't demand no symbolism whatsoever. He wanted answers and he wanted them now. Again, he's shown his fucking hypocrisy with Henry. He condemned British football fans and anyone who rejected the knee for Floyd as unpatriotic or racist. Yet he rejects it whenever it's mentioned for a murdered British teenager who was murdered for nothing more than being a white British teenager. And the guy who murdered him thought, I'll just see he was racist and I'll get away with it. I mean, he blatantly applies different standards to whatever he does, to whatever happens, as long as it fits his narrative. And I'm calling the fat fucker out right now. David Lammy, you are the biggest hypocrite going. You're the biggest race baiter going. And there's no way on earth you should be anywhere near the government of this country. Don't get us wrong, you're not the only one. I would say the entire fucking government shouldn't be anywhere near governing this country. But you above all should be nowhere near anything like that. What do you guys think? I don't know what else to say about the man. The man's a complete knacker. And I've had it up to the back teeth with the guy. If this doesn't show that there's double standards or two-tier policing or two-tier politics in this country, then, I don't know what else is going to show people. Some people have just got their heads buried in the fucking sand and they're just refusing to see it. It's right there when you open your eyes, guys. It's right there in front of you.
Don't be daft, man.